I was about to say that Doris Day has never been on The Tonight Show, which is not true. She was on before, but this is the first time I've had a chance to welcome her to the show. I've been a fan of hers ever since I first heard her first record she ever made come out. And she's probably the best known and one of the best known entertainers in the entire world through her singing and her television show. Would you welcome, please, Miss Doris Day? Goodness. You say that?
Thank you.
Yeah, you feel it. My goodness, I think we have a summit meeting tonight. It's
That's
nice.
very sweet. That's very sweet.
How are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
How are you?
See, I can feel that. I can feel that. I keep doing jokes about.
Are you well tonight?
Yeah, I'm really. You know what I mean? You've had this problem. We talked about
I have it
a week ago, and you
I have
said
it right now. I was going to wear my collar.
Do you have one
But
of those
since you
soft
didn't.
cervical collars?
Yeah, I do.
Do you wear it around when you sit around? They say you should wear it at home if you're riding in a car or something. The only trouble was I afraid if I wore it out, people are not sure whether it's a joke, and it's kind of difficult to get laughs or be funny when you're wearing one of those collars around.
But it does help.
It does help. Now, how did you do yours? What happened?
I don't know how I did it. I haven't a clue. How'd you do? Oh, I know how you did
yes.
yours.
Well, I took an accident
on the slant
at home.
board.
Did you reach over to pick up something and all of a sudden?
I really don't know, John.
Yeah. Now, what do you do for it?
I don't do anything.
Really?
No.
I mean, don't you take any exercise? Where does it go? Does it go down your arm?
I swim and I ride my bike and I clean house and, you know,
they told
all
me
kinds
not
of glamorous things like that.
They told me not to do that. I cannot play tennis now for 3 months.
Oh, that's silly.
And I hate that.
Do what you want to do, John. They'll have you in bed, you know,
Yeah.
for 6 months. And you just shouldn't do that. You know, you should get out and do what you want to do and forget it. Right?
You know,
Really,
my
you're
doctors are going to kill you when they hear that. They said, don't even swing a racket. Don't try to go out on the tennis court for 3 months because you could redo this thing.
Really?
Yeah.
I would enjoy myself.
Yeah.
Wouldn't you?
Oh, I would indeed, but maybe you're different than him.
I certainly hope so.
Well, the necks are built. Are the vertebrae in a man's neck and women any different?
I wouldn't think so. I think that we're about the same around there.
But below the neck, the changes start rapidly.
Yeah.
From then on.
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for being here. I know you did this show once with Mac.
With McLean, and we were
McLean, when he
kissing
was
all
here.
night.
Yeah, and it even made the fan magazines, did it not?
Oh, yes.
See what happens here? I saw that. You guessed it with McLean Stevenson one night, and about 6 or 7 weeks later, I pick up one of the fan magazines, and they hundreds of them out here in Hollywood, and all of a sudden they were making a big romance between you and McLean Stevenson.
Out of nothing. We're good friends.
Yeah.
And suddenly we were engaged.
And that's all there was? You just had dinner together once or twice? And,
No, never.
was just here from the show,
He
you
has
mean?
never called me. That's a Billy DeWolf line.
Yeah, poor Billy.
And a
He was
reading.
a good friend of both of ours who passed away a few months ago. Does he give you the name? I know you go by a lot of nicknames. I didn't know what you call. He calls you
Bixby.
Clara Bixby.
Clara Bixby
And you've been
is
called
one of
Dodo,
mine.
was one of the other nicknames.
And Susie Cream Cheese.
Yeah. Now, where did Clara Bixby come? I know Billy gave it to you, but why did he give you that nickname?
He
called his Cadillac. He called his car
Clara.
Clara Cadillac. Billy DeWolf. It's just Clara and I drove across the country the other day, but he had a name for it.
He saw in the paper that Clara Bixby was lecturing in Los Angeles tonight. And from then on, I was Clara Bixby. And I'm Clara Bixby to a lot of people.
And that's just the title he put on it. Now, where'd the Dodo come from?
My son called me Dodo.
Yeah?
Uh-huh. And I was called D-Day, which was interesting before D-Day.
Right.
And Doris Marianne Capelhaw, that's my real name.
That's the original name, right?
Yeah. And then the Susie Cream Cheese came out sort of from Nate and Al's Delicatessen because I'm there a lot.
Yes.
And I love cream cheese.
People don't see you much in this town,
I
but
see you there so often.
I think everybody who lives nearby goes to 8 and 8 Now's in Beverly Hills. But you always ride your bicycle. You don't go out much at all, do you? I mean,
John, I do.
Basically.
I do go out. I go out as much as I'd like to.
Yeah?
Yeah, I go out very often. I don't know where that comes from that I don't go out, because I do go out. But I like to ride my bike, and I go to Nate and Nell's, and I have a little breakfast, and I have a lot of cream cheese, and so they call me Susie Cream Cheese.
Last time I saw you had part of the fan club staying at your place. There was some young ladies had come out from the Midwest or something and showed up at your house. And you also all of a sudden took them in like high and had them stashed somewhere, right?
Well, they were very special.
Yeah.
And they weren't staying at my house, but I invited them over for a swim. And a bite to eat. I took them out to eat.
Yeah. Did you take the doggy bag home?
Always.
Every place you go. I don't know how many dogs you have living at your place. And you've talked about this, I'm sure, when you were on the show with Mac.
Where are you looking?
What?
Where are you looking?
Right here. Occasionally I glance over here. Does it look like I'm not making eye contact?
Yeah.
Once in a while I see Freddie go like, we're getting ready for a commercial. You see, and he does that. I saw him getting ready to do that, and I didn't know whether to ask you the question and get into it before we had to do this. You see?
Okay.
This is real clever. Now, after a word from our sponsor, we'll be returning right with more of The Tonight Show. We are back. When we had dinner together a couple of weeks ago, you told me that you didn't like to sing anymore, or you got nervous.
I like to sing.
But I mean, in public. No.
Oh, don't!
No, I told you. No, I told you. I told you if you came on the show, I wouldn't do that phony business about pushing you over there and making you kind of ad-lib a song. But you said that you love to sing, but because you did the show where you weren't singing in the show.
That's right.
And it's been in a time since you've sang. Since you
I've
have sung.
I'm rusty, John. And but I'm going to start singing again.
Are you really?
Because I really love it.
Yeah, well, you're such a great singer.
Thank you. That's nice.
Yeah, you sang with Les Brown, of course. You sang with Jimmy Dorsey. Now we.
No, I didn't sing with Jimmy Dorsey.
Les Brown, yes. Right?
Les Brown.
And?
Bob Crosby. And that's it.
Never with the Dorseys?
No.
Just the two
I was
bands?
married to a musician from Jimmy Dorsey's band.
Ah.
Yeah.
Well, there was something had to do with the Dorseys.
That's it.
Sorry to bring that up if that
Yeah,
was
I am too.
unhappy. Yeah. Did you do those one-night stands?
Oh, did I?
The band bus?
Oh.
You'd play here in Allentown, Pennsylvania, then you had to get in the band and travel with 18 animals, which they always say they're not...
Animals?
Well, I mean, musicians
How
on the
dare you
road.
call them animals?
Well, I thought, they're
Now, wait a
on the
minute.
road alone, and, and the band singer has to travel
You're
with
talking about animals, and I love animals.
Oh. Yes.
The other day I saw on television news thing, some frantic thing where the gunmen were going crazy and they're having a shootout, and one man said he was behaving like an animal. Animals don't do that. They're terrific. They're calm, they're peaceful, they're loving. What I figure is that inhuman beings behave that way, not animals.
Yeah. How did this
just
become an
setting you straight,
interest?
John.
Yes. Well, when I was talking about musicians as animals, you never had.
Oh, no.
Never
the
had
musicians in Les Brown's band were absolutely fantastic. Is Jimmy Zito here? I'm looking right at you, and I didn't know you, Jimmy. Well, I can't see from here too well.
He played first animal over there.
We were together. You're going to really get one.
Excuse me.
You're going to have another bad nerve.
Was he?
Did we have a good time?
Beautiful.
We really did. Everybody in the band, they were like brothers to me. They really were, except one. Well, I married him.
Yes. Well, that's okay then. Oh, that's interesting. Did you miss those days? I mean, were they fun days?
At the time, I think it was fun. Yeah, because we had a really good band, didn't we, Jim?
Oh, that was one of the great
And
bands of all
we
time.
all loved one another, And Les was super, and we had a good band.
Yeah.
And it really was nice. Except that I was separated from my little boy.
Right.
And that was kind of difficult. But outside of that, it was really fun. And it was a great experience. It was a marvelous time in my life.
Yeah.
And I'm sure in Jimmy's.
What greater training can a singer have than working different groups, different towns, night after night?
That's right. You don't have that now. The
No way.
girl singers don't have that now.
You mentioned that you were very
suddenly
sensitive about the animals because you have at least a half a dozen dogs at your house,
You're very kind.
don't you? At least?
I do have. I have several. Yes, I have quite a few doggies, and
Where do you get them?
well, it's because I'm taking other people's responsibilities on. They don't take care of their animals, John.
You mean if you see a dog running around on the street, a loose, you go,
I find strays wherever I go.
right?
And once when a friend of mine and I were flying from London to Los Angeles, we took the pole, over the pole?
Yeah.
The polar route. And we're flying over Greenland, and she said, "Do you see any strays, Clara?"
If you
I mean,
saw a
that's
stray
the way
walrus,
it is,
you'd take
Johnny.
it in or something.
And all I can tell you is that the only way I'm going to live through it is to live on a boat. And then I'll probably pick up fish. I don't.
Do they,
I don't know.
Do they live in the house?
They
In or
live
out?
in the house, out, in the yard, wherever they want to be.
Yeah.
My house is their house.
I'm not fond of animals.
You what?
I'm not fond of animals.
I don't want to have a scratch out here tonight. Why is that?
I don't want anything to lick me that's not going to marry me. I don't love
Boy, if my
anything-
neck was great, I could do a great take, but I can't even do a... No, you don't really. You like animals, don't
No,
you?
No,
Oh.
I think animals should live outside, and I don't want to love anything that I got to walk and wear a flea collar.
Well,
She has her point of view.
yeah.
Yeah, and I respect that.
You don't. What I don't like is you mentioned the people that don't take care to let their dog. I think I missed something there. This could be a shootout at the OK Corral tonight.
No.
Some of the
No,
neighbors, and I don't know who it was, a couple of weeks ago, all of a sudden we had a pregnant cat show up at our back door. You
At
see?
your house?
At the house, right.
That
With-
must be good luck.
What?
That must be good luck.
Well, what happened? Apparently the neighbors did not want it, and they just let the cat go.
That's why I have a lot of dogs.
And all of a sudden, now what happened? The bad thing was the cat had a litter of kittens, and they were raised. She had them somewhere back away from the house in the woodpile or something. And of course, what happened? They're absolutely wild, the kittens, you see, because they were not raised around like in the house with human beings. And so by the time the kittens were 6 or 7 weeks old, before they came out, you couldn't get near them
That's right.
because
That's
they
what
were
happened.
absolutely like they had been born in the wild, and it was kind of frightening. You see, and they would snarl at you just like a wild animal.
Yes.
And we had to have them, taken away. Now, why do people do that when they have? Why don't they have? If they don't want to litter, why don't they have their animals spayed or
John,
something? They just don't do it, do they?
It's a depressing subject, but people don't take care of their children. Why don't they?
No.
And if they don't take care of children, many of them will not take care of their animals. And that's why I got into this humane group and into animal work, because they really desperately need help. And
I think
so
it's
I do all I can.
It's really
And,
an education of the public, isn't it?
The problem is horrendous because the animals must be spayed and must be neutered.
Right.
And we can't have breeding in the backyards for money,
Right.
and it just has to be stopped.
So it's really educating the public to the thing.
Right, education. That's what we need.
Yeah, hope so.
In the meantime, I'm enjoying my animals, and they're really
But you're not
terrific.
asking
You have
anybody-
to come see them sometime.
Well, you're not asking people to drop off strays, are you?
No, I'm not. No, I really can't handle
Because that gets to be a little...
No, I think that everyone should take care of their own animals, their own cats and dogs, and that's their responsibility.
Okay, so you'll have people showing up. We have to take a break. We'll be right back after this word. Stay with us.